Welcome to Capacity TV. We are in London at Capacity Europe. I am joined by Mike Mills, Managing Director of Service Providers at Gamma. Mike, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
In a world where communications are becoming increasingly cloud-centric, how important is it to maintain a human focus?
I think it's more important than ever. I think as the whole world's going digital and cloud first and everybody's trying to drive automation, having somebody available at the end of a phone or someone to talk to is absolutely critical. We see it with lots of our customers where they try to drive an automation journey, but there's just going to be a point in time where you need to speak to somebody. So we think at Gamma, it's probably one of the most fundamental cornerstones of our proposition.
With the global nature of these services, what are the key considerations for people who are looking to strengthen their supply chain?
I think the number one sort of consideration these days has got to be compliance. I think the regulatory landscape around Europe and the world from a telco perspective for voice anyway is getting more and more complicated. There's a massive drive to sort of drive misuse and fraud out of the industry, and as such regulators are stamping down really heavily. So what that brings is a really challenging landscape where you're going to need someone to be able to walk you through that really difficult landscape. I think the other thing's all about quality and relationship. So having a provider and someone that you can talk to, work with and engage with, who understands the local challenges as well as the sort of global macro problems is really, really important.
And what geographic territories are your priorities at Gamma and why?
So we've spent a lot of time kind of looking at where do we go in the market. It's a pretty well-established market. So for us, there's sort of two primary areas really. Primary area number one's Europe. So we're a relatively strong UK provider with growing roots in Germany, Spain, Netherlands. So for us, getting a sort of really strong voice footprint in Europe is really important. And then secondly, there's a real mass explosion in the APAC market. So the APAC market from a cloud comms perspective is due to grow, I think, sort of 25% CAGR over the next 5 years. So we think that's massive. It's broadly being driven by a lot of the BPO organisations. So a lot of US firms tend to put the BPO outfits in places like the Philippines. Yeah. So we see the Philippines as key. We see Singapore as key because it's the western hub of Asia. And then we see Australia as a really important market because it's nice, friendly, westernised and a really good jump-off point for that part of the world.
Compliance is one of the biggest challenges for providers looking to scale globally. How is Gamma helping customers achieve this in a friction-free way?
That's a great question. So we've spent a long time talking to our customers, and one of the big challenges in the cloud world is you're basically centralising global services. So in order to do that, you technically need a telco license in every country that you operate in. So if you're providing services in 60 countries, you need 60 telco licenses. Even for big organisations, that's a massive overhead. So we've spent a huge amount of time working on a really innovative go-to-market commercial model where we do all the heavy lifting on the compliance and we do all the heavy lifting on the regulatory elements, and we allow the partner to retain the billing relationship, the moves, adds, changes relationship, and that real deep engagement with the customer, but we pick up the telco aspect. We think it's pretty unique in the market and it's getting great feedback from our customers.
It's amazing. How is AI impacting the communications ecosystem and what role does voice play in the transformation?
Do you know what? I don't think we could have done an interview or a conversation without bringing AI into it. I think AI is already having a massive impact on the market. We see it a few different ways. I think there's the obvious AI trend of driving automation and driving kind of synergies in your own business. But actually at Gamma, we see a massive opportunity for voice AI. So, the last time I checked, humans talk to each other. So we think there's just a period of time when AI catches up and it becomes real-time conversational. And actually from a telco, that's a really good revenue stream. The kind of numbers we're seeing flow through in some of our early voice AI products are kind of 30, 40 times the margin that you generate outside of a traditional voice call. So actually you put that lens on it and say telcos are imperative to driving the AI strategy with voice. I think we play a really important part, and actually it's a great opportunity for the telco business.
Yeah. In a mature and well-established market, what differentiates Gamma and why do you think people should choose to work with you?
I think the thing that really differentiates us the most is service. We are obsessed with delivering high availability, high quality service with a real human touch. As I said earlier, the sort of having someone at the end of a phone to answer problems we think is critical. I think also we're really big on security and compliance. So having a platform that's stable, highly available, resilient, but also with a real broad spectrum of reach, I think is really, really important. So, it comes back to those sort of critical points of if there's a problem, can you pick up the phone, answer it, and is the service as highly automated and available as possible?
Mike, thank you for joining us and for telling us more about Gamma.
That's been great. Thanks for having me.
And thank you for watching Capacity TV.